Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. Hello to my loyal subs. I hope you're having a great day. And to anyone new here, a warm welcome. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. All I ask is that after watching and or listening to the video, if you find you enjoyed it, please smash the like button, consider subscribing, feel free to share, and hit that notification bell. And with all that out of the way, let's dig in. Hi everybody. I wanted to come back tonight because I listened to Crime Stories with Nancy Grace tonight. Finally, she had Seth Rogers back on the show, and Seth was there to talk about the now, I'm going to say, infamous photo of a young man resembling Seth's missing 15-year-old son, Sebastian. So finally, we get to the episode with Seth Rogers. And I say finally because it's been a hot minute since Seth took a polygraph that Nancy arranged for him. And it's been a wild week of speculation about that photo. Is it Sebastian at the visitor center in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, or isn't it? And then just today, the authorities come out and say it is not Sebastian. Sadly, on this particular issue, Nancy Grace is about one YouTube beat behind. Today, the mother of the boy in the photo came out to say, "This is my son, that's me in the pink shirt. Please don't post this photo anymore on the internet." But of course, Nancy's episode was about the photo, so she asked Seth what went through his mind when he first saw it. Seth replied that his first thought was that Sebastian's alive, and he looks good in the picture. Seth didn't recognize the clothing or the shoes that the boy was wearing. Both of those items, at least to him, appeared to be brand new, which added to Seth's belief that it could be Sebastian. Seth then described driving 6 hours to North Carolina, only to find out that the people at the visitor center would not allow him to see additional video footage. The police had told them not to share the video with anyone because it's part of an active investigation. Seth said the photo gave him hope in a time when he was losing it. Sadly, we now know that it's not Sebastian in the photo. I don't even want to know what Seth is thinking tonight. Please say a prayer for him. And for Sebastian, send positive vibes. This has to be such a letdown for him. But it's interesting because even Nancy, a seasoned reporter and lawyer, felt that the boy in the photo looked identical to Sebastian. So what felt like a crucial piece of evidence is now worthless, time-consuming, energy-zapping red herring. Had it been Sebastian, the authorities might have been able to pinpoint the car that the boy had traveled in. They may have been able to track the people via receipts from the gift shop at the visitor center. Poor Seth believed hook, line, and sinker that pretty much every facial feature, every physical feature of the boy in the photo matched his son Sebastian. The hair, the nose, the chin. A lot of people are sort of dissing on Seth, saying that he should have been able to recognize his own son. But I'm going to say that if your child is missing and a child that looks a lot like him shows up in a photo, your desire for that child to be your child probably takes over and magical thinking invades your brain. Nancy also discussed Seth's polygraph. The former head of the FBI polygraph team in Washington, Kendall Schul, gave the polygraph and also analyzed the results. And he said that Seth definitely passed the polygraph. There were no signs of deception. The questions posed to Seth were mainly about if he'd ever hurt his son, if he had anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. The whole ordeal lasted for about 3 to 4 hours, so this was not a quickie poly. But I mean, to me, the last person in this case that I would give a polygraph to is Seth. I'd rather hear about Katie and Chris Proudfoot's polygraphs, as well as polygraphs given to Terry Bowersox Sr. and Kathy Bowersox. They're Chris Proudfoot's parents. Now, I don't think that the Bowersox have been given polygraphs. I'm saying I'd like them to take polygraphs, and I'd be very interested in seeing if they showed any signs of deception. The former FBI agent said that Seth was totally cooperative and showed no signs of deception. Of course, I mean, he's got a rock-solid alibi, but there was one shocker revealed in this episode. Seth actually took 2 polygraphs. On the first one, he was medicated with cyclobenzaprine and gabapentamine, and I think both of those are muscle relaxers. I know for sure cyclobenzaprine is because I take that every night. I have TMJ, and if I don't take that, I am in pain. So it sounds like they really did get inconclusive results, and this is why they did the second polygraph. I actually just said the second autopsy. I can tell that I'm tired. I caught myself though. That's good. Apparently he wasn't on those meds, and that time he passed with flying colors. During his chat with Nancy, Seth said something about getting death threats for searching for Sebastian. I'd love to know what sick effer would do that to a parent whose child is missing. Shame on you, whoever you are. What is wrong with you? Were you dropped on your head as a baby? Have you ever heard of karma? Nancy then asked Seth about the track pants that were found by YouTuber Terry Lynn. By the way, I keep hearing these track pants being mentioned on these big shows, but nobody is giving Terry Lynn credit for digging around in those weedy, scary places at night. Shout out to Terry Lynn for doing that for Sebastian. Seth said that when the authorities told him the pants weren't Sebastian's size, he believed even more that the boy in the photo in North Carolina was indeed Sebastian. When Nancy asked about the Proudfoots, Seth's new PR guy, Tony Mathis, I think is his name, he jumped in to say that they weren't going to say anything about the Proudfoots. Seth then said that other people will have to live with their choices. I think he was alluding to the Proudfoots' decision not to hit the ground and search for Sebastian. I don't care what they say. We haven't seen any proof of them putting boots to the ground and digging around in the dirt to look for Sebastian. The news on the street is that Seth needs to go back to work, I think, tomorrow. I think it's really sad when reality comes in and forces a parent to return to work when their son or daughter is still missing. It's like when Natalie Holloway went missing, and at some point her mother and her father had to return home without her. But Beth Holloway, she never ever gave up. It took so many years, but I do think she's finally gotten a skosh of justice for her daughter Natalie. And look at Maura Murray. Her father has never given up. He searched and searched and searched over years. It became like his only occupation. We can't give up on Sebastian because Sebastian deserves to be found, and Seth deserves to have answers and his son back. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories.